when you think a thought and you focus there for as little as 17 seconds, momentum ensues. Because once you cross that 17-second mark, another thought like it joins it. And as you keep that going, more and more and more momentum happens, which means more and more attraction power. So picture a tug of war. Picture two equally strong people pulling on each end of a rope. And they are so balanced in their strength and in their intention that as they're tugging, nothing is happening. It's not going one way or the other. But imagine if one were much stronger, more pulling power. Now, it's not a perfect analogy. No analogy ever is. But we want you to begin understanding that you've got this balance of vibration going on within you. And that you were born with a very powerful leaning and pulling toward. Law of attraction calling you toward. It's like a vortex that creates enough centrifugal force that it just draws you right in. It's a vibration of well-being. It's where your clarity and your stamina and your wellness comes from. It's a powerful, powerful, powerful energy. And if you were never introducing resistance to it, you would be thriving all the time. So often you say, well, then why would I come into an environment where it is not only possible but probable that I will introduce some resistance into my vibrational pattern? Why would I do that? And why didn't somebody get it all figured out before I got here so that I didn't do that? And we want you to understand that you came specifically wanting to express yourself in an environment where your thoughts produced response, because you are a creator. And creating is something that is your nature, but it is also something that is your life. It is also something that is the reason for the expansion of all that is. So the very continuation of that which we all are is about new thoughts, new ideas, new expansion. So you knew that this time-space reality would be a perfect environment with enough variety that you would be able to focus yourself within it and come to your own personal choices. And you also knew that without that variety that you could not focus, and you also knew that the choices that you made or would be making are important. So you dived right in, knowing that the variety was there, not expecting to be complicit, not expecting to be one who just went along with what somebody else wanted. You came expecting there to be enough variety that you would come to your own conclusions, that your own personal desires would hatch within you. And you knew that that hatching of a new desire and that movement of the energy that happens when a new desire is hatched, you knew that that would be life-giving. You almost knew that it would be breathtaking. You knew that you would like it, and so you came forth. So we've been explaining that to you by saying you were non-physical energy before you came into this physical body, and even though you're in this physical body, there's a larger part of you who still remains that non-physical energy. So you have the potential in your physical body to become, in any moment, a vibrational match to that broader perspective or to separate yourself from it. Now, isn't it logical that there would be a sort of normal separation as you are reaching into that which is new? If source energy has become, as a result of all that has been lived, then isn't it logical that you've come forth into a new environment to go into new expansive experiences? And when you do, there is a momentary, and we're using that word lightly, we would like it to be a momentary. There is a momentary, separation is too strong a word, but difference in your vibration. In other words, when you're reaching to a place that you have not been before, there is a reaching into a vibration that does not feel normal to you. That vibration is different from the vibration that you have previously established. Now, when you reach in full resonance with the source within you, the reaching isn't frightening. The reaching isn't uncomfortable. The reaching is life-giving. The reaching feels like adventure and excitement and passion and enthusiasm. But when you reach vibrationally, without the resonance, without the alignment, without the blending, without the full allowing of all that you are, then that's when you feel uncomfortable. That's when you feel negative emotion. That's when you feel overwhelmed, or that's when you feel frightened. So everything that you feel is about the vibrational relationship between who you really are as a source energy being and who you're being right here, right now, as a result of what you're focused upon. And if you can get it, that in every moment that you are reaching, Source is appreciating you and adoring you, so that you are less likely to be condemning yourself for whatever reason or anyone else, you will go a long way in bridging or closing that gap between you and you. We're going to be talking about a lot of things here today, but the basis of everything that we're talking about ever is about you as an extension of source energy, your work here in this physical body, exploring and expanding, and most important of all, the joy that you are able to discover and align with in this process. Because not one of you said, I'll go forth and fix something that's broken. I'll go forth and put this world back on track. I'll go forth and plug up the holes of things that are not going well. I'll go forth and make a name for myself. I'll go forth and everyone will follow me into the place of perfection. Not one of you said anything like that. Instead, you said, I'm a creator and I have the wind of creation at my back. And Source adores me and is flowing to me and through me. And I have the ability and the right to choose from among everything I see, those things that I would like to flow my creative attention toward. And when I do, in resonance with the Source within me, that energy will flow to me and through me for the fulfillment of my desires. And the world will expand as a result of my focus here. That's really what you said. You didn't say, I'll decide who's right on this issue, and I'll join them against them. You did not say, I will sift through all of the data, I will put the results of life in piles, and I will acknowledge that is a good pile and that is a bad pile. That pile is right and that pile is wrong. Not one of you said, I'll use the wrong pile to push against, because you knew if you pushed against what you considered to be wrong, that you wouldn't push it away. You wouldn't exclude it from your experience. You knew that you were moving into a universe, into a physical time-space reality that was based upon law of attraction. You knew there was only inclusion, and you knew that whatever you give your attention to, you begin vibrating about. So you didn't say, I'll go forth and find the things that are wrong and I'll join the clubs that push hard against them, because you knew all you would do is activate within yourself the very resistance to your own ideal. You weren't going to do that. You said, I'll go forth and I'll choose. And once I choose what I prefer, I will give my undivided attention to it. I will resonate with my preferences, but I will not condemn the things that I do not want, because in this universe that is based upon attraction, when you say no to something, it's like saying yes to it. Come to me, this thing I do not want, and present yourself to me in all manner of ways so that I can get bigger and stronger and louder in pushing against you until finally I have depleted my resources, because I am disallowing the true power of my being, which is the resonance that you find from Source, which always comes on the wings of appreciation. It always comes on the wings of love. It always comes on the wings of empowerment and self-determination, you see. So, you've come into this physical body with powerful reason. But the reason is not what humans think it is. The reason is not because you've got to fix something or prove something. The reason is because this is the potential for joyous life experience. And you are source energy beings who reside in love. And you've come forth to have lovely life experiences, you see. And it's important to know that you don't have to wait for everybody else or anybody else to figure this out before you begin living in resonance with who you are. But it is important that you figure out that how you feel matters, and that how you feel is your emotional guidance system that lets you know how much of source you are allowing to flow to you and through you in this moment, or how depleted you are. And when you think about it, isn't every negative emotion a sort of empty feeling? Sort of empty yourself out of the clarity and the knowledge and the love that is really who you are. You are such good translators of vibration, you don't even know you're doing it. Most humans don't accept, they don't know, they don't think about the fact that you are vibrational in nature. So instead of having your finger on the pulse of the creation as it's happening, which is feeling it as it is unfolding, instead, you wait until it has unfolded dramatically enough that you can see it, or hear it, or smell it, or taste it, or touch it, and then you turn your attention to it. But by then, there's a lot of momentum going. And so, this gathering is going to be primarily focused upon these factors. You are vibration, whether you know that you are or not. And you have the ability to understand your vibrational nature with far less effort than it takes to learn QuickBooks on your computer. You have the ability to understand your vibrational nature. And when you do, when you understand it and begin focusing deliberately with an ear to the ground of how that focus resonates with who you really are, now you're back on your track, and now life will begin unfolding in a way that is truly satisfying to you. You are the creator of your own reality. No one else is. But sometimes you create your own reality by default because you don't know how it is that you're creating it. You think that your words are the basis of your creation, or your behavior or action. And while sometimes your words are inspired from that greater alignment and power, and sometimes your behavior is inspired from that greater alignment or power, often you're out there sort of on the raw and ragged edge, offering your words or offering your behavior with a vibration within you that is contradictory to your own desire. So you are often creating things that you do not want. And it's why you have fashioned so many really amazing stories about how things come or don't come to you. We want you to leave here knowing that there's only one reason that things come or don't come to you. It's the vibration that you are offering. So today we want to help you to sort out your own vibrational patterns, to understand why you're offering vibrations in the way you do, to understand that law of attraction is a powerful law that is the engine of everything that is, and that law of attraction is always bringing more of that which is likened to itself unto it. So when you get a little thought going and you maintain it for a little while, that thought picks up speed. And the more speed it picks up, the more powerful it is. Until eventually you could choose a thought of despair, or a thought of something unwanted, a thought of hatred, or a thought of defense. You could get one of those thoughts going within you that could be so active and therefore have so much momentum that it could actually interfere with the well-being of source that is flowing to you at all times. And when that happens, that's when you start questioning, isn't anybody looking out for me? Am I unworthy? But when you understand your vibrational nature, and you feel for resonance with the source within you, and you catch your thoughts in the early subtle stages before the momentum of them is so strong, and you get so that you're directing your thoughts in powerful ways, you'll begin to feel as if you are worthy beyond your ability to describe it, because all of the forces of the universe, seen and unseen, are backing you up in your absence of resistance and yielding to you the path of least resistance that leads you to anything and everything that you desire.